Welcome aboard the Tabletop Express. We have some
Hello.
very special guests. I've been looking forward to this one, Ryan.
I have to.
I've been looking forward to this. Mick and Starley here. Thank you so much. Our family plays games. We have enjoyed what you've done as creators in this industry, and so glad you can be here for On the Table with us. Thanks for being here.
Thanks
for having us.
Glad to be here. We got to do our thing.
Do your thing. I was going to say, you better make sure they do their thing.
I know.
Well, for those of you who don't know us, I'm Starla.
I'm Mick.
And we are
Our Fan Plays Games. Boom!
Oh, it's so good.
Yes.
I need that.
Yeah. We're young, all right? We're a young channel. We'll get there.
Don't do it. Don't do it. No, don't do it.
No.
Don't do it.
No, as a channel. I'd say as a channel.
Nice save.
I'm saying. But welcome, everybody. If you have never watched an episode of On the Table, On the Table is a show here on the Tabletop Express where we invite some other creators or just other board game fans on to talk about some board games we've played in this past month or so. And it's hard to pick just one or two, but that's what we force people to do.
We picked two.
But we picked two. Yeah. But, it's a tough task. So we've got a lot of some great choices that you're going to get to learn about here today.
We got Board Game Dad saying, woohoo, the fam.
Hey, what's up? Yeah.
Always good to see Board Game Dads here. So please, go ahead, share the video. We're going to be really focusing and these on YouTube these days. I know in the past we've had them on Facebook, but we're going to ask everyone to come watch on YouTube. We see the comments better on YouTube, so it's just a lot easier for us.
So comments here.
Yeah, drop them here on YouTube. So if you're not watching on YouTube, come on over too. But that's On the Table. So I think it's a good opportunity, though. Can you both talk a little bit about your channel for those who may not know you? The very few that probably is, but let people know who you are and what you do, because you're doing really important stuff these days, and I want to make sure everyone is able to hear about that right up front.
Starla?
Well, we're Our Family Plays Games. We started in the board gaming hobby with a presence on social media back in 2018. And then in 2020, we decided to go on YouTube because we got into this because we wanted to see more people of color and more families in the board game hobby. We were living in the fourth largest city in the U.S., which is Houston. We were going to different cons and events in Houston, and we would go into a con with 100 or 200 people and be the only people of color, and sometimes the only people with the kid coming into the con because we would take our son with us. And so we were thinking, well, we love board gaming, and maybe it's because people of color and other families haven't learned about modern board gaming. So we took it upon ourselves to start social media pages, Facebook and Instagram, to kind of show what we do in the hobby. We got a little traction with that, but I told my husband we wanted to get more people and maybe to reach more people. So let's do a YouTube channel. So we started our YouTube channel in January of 2020. And by June of 2020, the message that we had and what we were trying to do in the hobby was recognized by Good Morning America. So we were interviewed by Michael Strahan on Good Morning America about board gaming and what we do in the hobby. And so many people rallied around and said they wanted to support what we do because they also want to see this hobby be more inclusive and more diverse. And it's just been a wonderful ride.
Yes.
We've been well respected in the hobby, and people just kind of gravitate toward the message that we put out there. We do it all with love and kindness because that's the world we want to be in. And so that's the world we want to create with the board game hobby as well.
But if a fool comes through, we're gonna show you what's up, though. Don't take our kindness for weakness now.
No.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Have a lot of fun with this, and just hopefully you just making people feel happy and comfortable, and letting people know that everyone, regardless of race, creed, color, walk of life, you have a place in this hobby.
Yes.
Awesome.
No, and we obviously we thank you for all the stuff that you're doing. And I know as I've spoken to you in the past, I was at PAX Unplugged, obviously so much work still to be done, and you continue to do it. So, thank you for that. And I want to say, of course, thank you for being here. We're here to talk about board games.
Yes.
We're here to talk about some games we've played. And I think we can start kicking right into this with our first choice.
Yeah.
Who do we have up first tonight?
So the order is you're up.
Yeah.
Our Family Plays Games is up. and then I'm up.
All right.
So it's gonna go
Okay.
Okay.
that way.
All right, let's go around.
Do it.
If you could bring up my first one here. This one came in more recently. In particular, as I talk about parks, I am specific to the more recent wildlife expansion. I'll talk a little bit to it generally if you don't know parks. It's a fairly relaxing game. You're going down a trail, you're collecting resources, you're using your resources to buy goods, you're trying to actually go visit a park, or you can take a reserve action as well where you're able to pull the park to your side, but you haven't visited yet, so you're not getting the victory points. When this game came out, I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It was a good game.
Yeah.
But the expansions have continued to add. The last expansion, I think, is must own, quite frankly, adding the campsites in, which allow you to have some additional actions at the spots on the trail that have the campfire, or the campsite, I should say, not the campfire. But this latest expansion did something huge for me. And I know you if you're not a huge fan of parks with the original game, I just stress that try it with all of these expansions, because this latest one made wildlife more important. It's kind of obvious by the title, but it made it so more important. And you can even see in this photo that I had kind of taken, there's more actions that are instantaneous where you're getting something immediately, like you're getting a wildlife. You're going to use wildlife to get a park. And wildlife in this game even is sitting on top of your card, where you're getting additional actions if you're visiting the park, I should say, that has the wildlife meeple on it. Though I have the Kickstarter, so there's two different versions. I have two options when I play, but I really love what this expansion did. To me, it makes it a deeper game. Certainly a little bit more to it, but I think it's still a very relaxing game as a whole. So I really like Parks. It's not a game that I take lightly. I think it's a fun game when you do just the base game, but I think when you add all the stuff together, you've got quite a bit more meat in the game now with all the different things that they've added. So I love this expansion. Again, this only came in like 2-3 weeks ago for me, so I've only got 2 or 3 plays under my belt, but my wife really liked it. I don't know that we would play without both expansions at this point, personally.
It's cool.
Yes,
We like Parks. We really love Parks.
It's a wonderful game.
Yeah.
He was pointing to me, by the way.
when
he was saying
Parks. We like Parks, and Henry. We like
okay.
Henry. Henry's a cool guy. I like Henry.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is? I think when I first played Parks, I grabbed it at Barnes and Noble. The art grabbed my attention.
Oh yeah.
Where the art is coming from, the fact that when I bought my copy, money was donated to the national parks. I know.
Yeah.
So all that kind of fell in and made me want to own this game. And it's just visually. The only thing that's off-putting for me, I think, with wildlife, and other people have pointed this out, I'm not doing anything new, is some of the arts is a little bit different. So when it's out there with the other stuff, it's a little bit unique.
It's not the part. It's not the print series.
It is but they made like these really cool artistic, unique styles, and I don't have any in here. I'll post them on Twitter after.
Yeah.
But they don't look exactly. You can kind of see it actually. See the top right, how that's slightly different.
Yeah.
So again, a different style. It's not a big deal to me. I think visually they look great. It's the only thing that threw me off a little bit when I first opened the package. Like, wait a minute, this looks different. Is this right? We're good.
I mean, I love the art for sure. Like the theme,
the art's beautiful.
Works, and I think it's a great game to bring people into the hobby for sure. You know, I definitely think Parks is something to bring people into the hobby. I am excited to try wildlife though. Yeah, because I felt like there's just something I missed the mark for me with the original Parks, but I feel wildlife might add some more.
The fact that the wildlife is not just wild anymore, and you actually have to spend it specifically on things, makes you think about, do I want to use my wildlife token or not? And to me, that's critical. So that's the difference maker with it.
Yeah. Well, you know, the one good thing. Hey, what's up? But you know, the one thing that, you know, Parks is cool and all for a gateway game, but Trails, that's the one.
I need to try
Trails. Is the gateway. Yeah. We always tell, you know, hey, get Trails first. Then if you like that, then head on over to Parks. You know, so
yeah. Trails is on the shelf for I see it at Target all the time.
Yeah.
Like, just walk. It's Parks actually I didn't see in Target anymore, but I still see Trails. So I don't.
Yeah, I think
Is
Parks
Trails
is
newer?
still in there. I think. Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Trails came after Parks.
Trails
yes.
is newer, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Trails came after Parks. Yeah.
So
that was Parks.
Yeah,
with
that's Parks.
Wildlife.
Yeah.
With wildlife, very specifically with the wildlife.
Wildlife.
So yeah. So we're going right over to you for the next one. And I'm excited. I'm excited for all these picks. So.
I'll pull it up.
What do we got?
First Rat.
Well, before we get into the game, I wanted to say something because when I was talking about our channel, I mentioned that we started in 2018 and we were in Houston. I need to let people know that in 2020, when we started the YouTube channel, we have moved to Nebraska.
We're in Omaha, Nebraska, the middle of nowhere. That's where we're at.
I thought they lived in Omaha.
No.
We do.
Yes, we do.
We do.
We do. We do. Yes, you can find us somewhere in Nebraska in the corn. There we go. Yeah.
All right, First Rat. This was your thing.
No, this is my thing because First Rat, it looks cool, even and it's cute rats. I told Starla it's cute rats.
He picked this game.
It's cute rat, but it's cool worker placement where you can't go backward, and you take these little, a family of rats, and you got to go forward because you want to be the first, family of rats to get, build up a rocket ship out of junk. And get it to the moon because the moon is nothing but cheese. So you try and get up there.
At least that's what you believe.
That's what they're telling those little rat folk. The little rat folk think they're gonna make it somewhere, but they're gonna just go, get eaten up by a cat somewhere. That's all. But anyway, you just go along and you're doing like worker placement, but it's cool because it's kind of you push. You got to push yourself. You got to push yourself along.
And it's a race.
Yeah, it's a race.
Again, you want to be the first one, and you want to get all your little rat family. Up to the rocket ship. So it's a race. It's a race.
And it's fun though, because you got to make sure how you going to get your rats, because you can go your rat two different ways. You can do one rat, like up to 5, spaces, or you can do like 2 or more rats, but you can do it 1 to 3 spaces, but you got to land per rat, but you got to land them on the same color. And that that really gets you all crazy. Yeah. But it's fun because you got to put things together. When you get it, when you get, all these little resources, you got to get enough where you can turn them in to get points and put them on the scoreboard. So I love First Rat. It is so much fun.
What I found when we first started and you have 2 rats out, trying to get them on the same color is difficult. It's actually easier when you have 4 rats to get them on the same color space. You're trying to move them. And I know that may seem crazy, but you're willing to pass up some things in order to get them on the same color when you have 4. Where you only have 2, you don't want to pass up stuff.
But then sometimes those different colors have different things you can get, so it can really help you. Yeah. So that's cool. We love First Rat.
It's a very cute game.
Yes.
Wasn't my first choice.
It wasn't my first choice. It was my choice.
After we got on the table, I loved it.
And the components are pretty cool, though. They're pretty cool. Good. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's not like nasty looking rats,
They're cute. It's
cool.
Cute. If rats can be cute.
And then I heard some people say, well, the board is kind of confused. It's a junkyard. It's supposed to be confused looking.
And no insult to people who have rats as pets.
No offense. No offense.
These are
these are cute rats. Cute rats. Yeah.
It sounds like a little bit of a different take on worker placement. So that automatically gets my attention because I just like when something does something a little bit different. I always say like,
it's a lot different. It's a lot going on too because you got like 2-3 different areas you got to pay attention to, and you get points that way. So it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Cute game.
Yeah.
How are the player counts in this? Like, is it better with low amount of players? Do you want like a lot of people playing?
Well, we played it with 2.
Yeah.
I don't know how it would be if you had more than 2 because it was difficult enough with the 2
of us. It was difficult enough, but I think 4 would be cool though.
Yeah, it would be chaotic.
It would be chaotic. 4 would be chaotic, but it might be fun. It might be fun. Yeah.
So chaotic fun at 4 sounds like.
And plus you'll open up everything. Plus the fight for points would be crazy.
Because when you play with less people, some of the selections are closed off. So I guess if you had 4, you can have all the selections available. So that would be good.
Yeah, player scale is cool. It's cool. But when you open everything up, it might. I think it's gonna be crazy fun.
I can't wait to try it with 4.
I would hope so. It sounds pretty fun.
It sounds like chaos might be the word, which is a good
we like chaos.
I don't mind a little chaos.
You're a rat family trying to get to the moon. How crazy and chaos is that?
This sounds like up his way because he loves Cosmic Frog, and I do.
And
that's got the same. That's got chaos and
I like
frogs
chaos,
and
yeah.
space, and
especially with worker placement games. You know, I
Yeah.
like when worker placement games are a bit meaner, a bit more of like, I block this spot from you and no one else can take it. That's my jam for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you kind of like take that. I want to
A
block
little
so
bit.
you can't
I
have
like
it.
take that a lot.
I know.
Yeah, I like take that a lot. Yes. Yes.
oh, I want to give this one a try. I'm convinced that
Please
this
do.
is
It's a
worth
good one.
giving
It's a good. But I think they're having. I mean, it was selling out like crazy. So I think it's going to be like another printing that's going to come out soon because they're kind of like selling out. They didn't. I don't think they knew this was going to be so hot like it was.
Yeah.
And I think it caught them by surprise.
Where'd you get this one?
Oh, I got it from. Well, luckily enough, I have it's a board game cafe here.
He has a board game dealer.
Oh, nice.
Listen.
He's a board game addict, and he has a lot of dealers and pushers in the city that will let him know when the latest game is in town. And he runs to pick it up. Not that we don't get enough games already.
But see, here you go. This is how I go, though. This is how I go. Okay, so we have a board game cafe. Love them. It's a Spiel Cafe, Spielbound Cafe. And we love them. We love Spielbound. Yes. And they have
they love you.
They have a cool little system where they get a lot of Kickstarters and stuff in where you don't have to really kickstart. You can just wait for them to bring it in and you can get it. Mm-hmm. So they had First Rat all of a sudden. They said, hey, we got them. Come on and get them. Mm-hmm. You know, and if you pre-ordered and you kind of like can tell them, you know, can you pre-order me one? So they had me one and I went and got it. And love it. I love it. Spielbound, love you, Spielbound. Love it. Yeah. So yeah,
for the record, my system is I tell them, hey, are you going to kickstart this at our local store?
Yeah,
and if I can convince them, then I know. But otherwise, I know I got to do it.
Well, we go halvesies on some games.
Yeah, we do.
Well, you know, the cool thing about Spielbound, they actually tell you like, hey, we're going to back this. How many people want to do it? And we'll have them there for you. And I like, hey, cool. You know, I got a few from that. I think I got what's that one? With the Stroganoff. I got Stroganoff.
Yeah.
And then I got the doctor one. What's the doctor?
My Father's Work?
Hypocrisies. Yeah, I got that one.
Yeah.
I got those two. So yeah. So I'm excited to put those on the table. So, you know.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well, speaking of you know, us teaming up and buying games, then I know this next one isn't, but it's got plenty of games behind you that you bought.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my next game. So you mentioned Cosmic Frog. This is by the same designer, Jim Scully. This is his first ever release design. I finally got a chance to play it. It's wacky and weird. It's called Shadows of Malice. Now, it kind of looks pretty bland.
It does.
It looks pretty bland.
Yes,
and so the game is first of all, I played this game live on our channel because we were going to do a live playthrough of a video. We had to reschedule. But in order to actually do a video that day, I was like, you know what? I've been looking at this game for a while. I don't know how to play it. I'm just going to try it out live on the channel. And it was wild. In this game, it's an adventure game where you are exploring different parts of the land to try to uncover these wells, all right? And there's just these different tokens that are on the board. And in this particular scenario, you need to uncover a specific well to win the game. While that's going on, the bad guys come in and they try to just like utterly destroy you. And it's all very random at sometimes because there's a fair amount of dice rolling, like a lot of dice. I think there's like 20 dice in the game that come in different colors and sizes. But let me tell you, this game is exactly what I wanted it to be. It is. When I mention Cosmic Frog, what I love about Cosmic Frog is how wild that game is and how much of a slugfest it is. It is very take that, but at the end of the day, in order to win Cosmic Frog, it's just a matter of what tiles you collected and what order did you lay them out in your tableau. That's how you win points. And in this game, it's very much of you're just trying to run through the story. And what's really interesting about the game is because it's so bare bones, it actually encouraged the players to do a bit of role playing. So there's a lot of imagination. Your characters are actually not like I played as like a red and blue character. They are called the avatars of light. And Yeah, I mean, but they all take on different abilities, and if you die, it's not a big deal. You can just start up again and just keep going. And you go into different layers to fight bad guys, but the bad guys are generated by dice, and it tells you what you're based on what you roll, what kind of monster you generated, and what its health is, how powerful is it, and what abilities it'll do. And it actually just gives you really more so like it doesn't tell you you're fighting like a slime. It doesn't tell you you're fighting like a snake. It'll tell you you're fighting some reptilid creature that has like vampiric powers that wants to take your energy and stuff like that. I find it really exciting actually because it's so bare bones that you could really just work it out, work your own.
You're like
thing.
imagining what that looks like when you hear this thing. You
Right.
can think of like
almost like an RPG kind of sort of like kind of like a board.
It very much feels like that. It very much feels like an RPG in a box. And you just go out on a quest to uncover this well, and then there's an expansion that actually doesn't introduce quests, so that's a poor choice of word. But but this game, I did the stream on Thursday, and then I put it aside. And what's great about it is because it's so bare bones, I just put it aside and been picking at it throughout the weekend, and I ended up finishing it today. I did win, which is cool.
That's cool.
But I really want to try this again. It goes up to 8 players. I would never play with 8. It's one of those things like, no, that's okay. But it works really well solo. And I do a lot of solo board gaming, and this one works out very well. And because of how random it is, I feel like a lot of the game can be completely different. It has that like Mage Knight-esque feel, but honestly, it feels closer to like a game from like the early Dungeons and Dragons era, you know what I mean? Like late 70s, it feels like times. And I say that with all compliments because that's like what I want from this kind of game. You know? So yes, I want a random complete luck fest of what's going on, and you don't know.
And this be co-op or is this
it is co-op?
Okay. Well, that puts her out. She out.
It's all co-op. And I mean, maybe the expansion includes a competitive. I don't think I would want to play this competitive.
No,
it's already mean enough, you know.
But like you said, you can play it solo, which is an important piece. I know for some people, can I play it solo? You can play with people. We should try it with 2. I would say I'll try with and see. It doesn't sound like one you'd want with like a huge group of people.
What's good about this one too, because we actually have a spare copy, new in shrink that we are probably going to give away on the channel at some point. Don't know how, don't know when, but it is in the works of, that is something that we are going to do at some point. So maybe it will be tied to a playthrough, maybe tied to like a review. One of the videos we do on the channel. But if this sounds like your interest, like if it with this game, by the way, it does what I feel like this old game from the 70s did pretty well, which is called Magic Realm. And that game had that kind of vibe. And with Cosmic Frog, it has that vibe of you want to just punch the crap out of your neighbor with like completely random powers, right? And I feel like that kind of evokes some of the this other game I know called Wiz War, and I always wanted to play, but I never had a chance to because it's always out of print. But with Cosmic Frog, I feel like I don't need to play Wiz War anymore. With Shadows of Malice, I have played Magic Realm, but I don't think I'm gonna go to Magic Realm as much as I'm gonna go to Shadows of Malice, just because of that is a bit more hairy and convoluted. But I am excited to try more of his designs for sure, and that was Shadows of Malice.
Okay.
I know he jumped over. He's been giving a lot of feedback, I know, to you throughout. Jim? So Jim's been great about giving some good feedback. Oh, how'd this go? So I always enjoy watching it from afar when Jim starts engaging, because when we talked, he was on.
Well, it was good he was on the video because I tweeted it saying that I'm gonna do my first playthrough of this game. I've never played it before, and he replied back saying, well, I wouldn't want my first play to be live. And he actually joined on the chat and just corrected actually some rules errors, which is great. Cool. I actually made it harder on myself at one point, and he called me out on it, which was great. So and then and I tweeted him this morning that I defeated the I defeated it and found the well.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
That was Shadows of Malice. So
Well,
interesting.
It's funny that you mentioned solo too, because the game that I'll talk about next is, I actually initially played it solo, but it's been a long time coming because Joseph Z Chen was he was one of the first people on Creators Corner, and this is a game by Joseph Z Chen. Brian Chandler's been telling me to play it. I think Brian's in the chat.
who's in the chat?
Yeah, Brian's been telling me you gotta play this game, and I finally did it. I got Fantastic Factories.
Yeah,
and I finally had a chance to play it. I believe this was part of my solo game, so I've done this now solo. I've played with people, and I really enjoyed this game. A lot of the comparisons I read, and I was trying not to read it, but I couldn't help but see people say Machikoro or something else, and I understand why people made that comparison. And full disclosure, I got rid of my copy of Machikoro. Fantastic Factory.
What? Why?
Because
What's he getting rid of games for?
I gave it to the library.
Damn.
So I could still get it out. But this game for me, if I have to play a game, I don't know, there was something about this that just worked really well. It has two phases I want to point out. There's a market phase and a work phase. And the market phase is pretty straightforward. You're taking a card, you might be spending a card. And then in the work phase, you got your own set of dice. And what I love is you can actually manipulate the dice to some extent. So it's not pure luck. You've got that ability to kind of think about what you want to do. You've got this ability to move them where you want. It's not going to be a game for everyone because, well, it's Fantastic Factories as the title. You're not going to feel like, oh, I'm working in a factory or something. It's not. You got that vibe. So thematically, I think it works, but it's not like overpowering. But I mean, I can see why, and I double checked this. This was in the top 100 in terms of family games, and I can see why, because the approachability of this game is huge. I don't want to speak to the accessibility. That would be Brian's category, and Brian probably has a review about this on his site, quite frankly, about the actual accessibility from colors and everything.
Colorblind Games.
Yeah, colorblindgames.com. But yeah, I just really dug this, and it has a solo mode where you're fighting the machine. And it's neat because you roll the dice, and based on what you've rolled, it takes an action. So it's a really simple one. I played like 2 or 3 solo games over breakfast one day because everyone else in the house for a board game weekend was still asleep. So I just played 2 or 3 games while I had my breakfast, had a cup of coffee. And, you know, it was a great start to the day. So I really like this. I will say I have the board in front of me, and I don't know. I appreciate even the simplicity of the board, easy to understand. And
it's got the insets.
It's got the insets just about right. I don't know. I really like this one. I thank people for getting me to play it again. And I told Joseph, I think when I interviewed him, like, I got to get this game. And it took me about a year. I messaged him today and told him that, like, I'll be talking about it later. And I finally played it, and I really like it. So yeah, that's Fantastic Factories. It sounds like you both have played it, and I believe I've seen you talk about it before. So
that's cool.
I'm gonna bring up some people from the chat. So we have Board Game Dad saying that he's not a fan of Machikoro either.
That's a sad thing there. Sad.
I didn't say I wasn't a fan. I just said I donated. That's all I said.
Well, we fans.
And then there was also a shout out for Chris's hair.
So thank you. Thank you.
Today.
It will never look this good on a stream again. It just so happened my trip to get I'll say it's a salon. I don't go to a barber. If anyone thinks I go to a barber, you're wrong. It just happened to be like an hour ago. So this is like me getting ready for a wedding good.
Okay.
Like right there too. They're like, hey, it's the guy from Foo Fighters.
I have a confession to make.
Yeah. And that Brian's also excited for fall to represent.
Yay! Represent, family, represent.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You guys had hoodies.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Shirts, everything. Shirts. You know.
What's that's right? All right on your website, right?
Yes, it's spring. Go to spring.
Spring.com.
Spring.com and put in Our Family Plays Games, and it'll take you to the store.
And you can also get it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Connect through YouTube as well. So.
We have Brian saying that also Fantastic Factories is pretty good.
It is.
So yeah.
Well, And like I said, Brian Chandler's been telling me, "Have you played it yet? Have you played it?" Now I need to try the expansions.
Yeah.
I
heard that adds a lot more.
I heard it. Yeah. So I got to try those. So that's next on my list. So I'll get around to it.
All right.
Yeah.
It's us now.
It's you guys now.
So because if you pick the last one, does that mean reversal on this one, and that Starla picked this one? Is that what?
No, it's kind of
or combined.
This
is
I didn't pick this one though.
Yeah. But we received Kate May from Thunderworks. They gave us 10 Penny Parks 2. And they said, well, here's 2 family games, maybe you want to check it out. And we said, okay, we'll check it out. We heard a lot about it. So we got Kate May. And as you can see on the picture, the money for Kate May, no, not really. No. So we used our iron clays, baby. We used the mighty iron clays, It kind of goes along with the, times,
I think that's the only downside is the money, the little cardboard money. But the game is a great game. I really loved it. I think the components are really solid with the little Victorian houses and the little shops that you can buy and everything. I thought it was great, and I don't think it's Monopoly.
It is. It's an elevated Monopoly.
Because Monopoly, you go around a track.
You going around some stuff on there?
No, but you can choose which way you want to
go.
That's
true.
Monopoly, you don't have a choice. You just have to go the way the board goes.
We said elevated. Elevated.
No, and then Monopoly, you try to hurt people by taking all their money. You don't do that here.
Well, you were telling me not to come on your side of the street, but I came anyway. You were threatening me and stuff.
I had certain things to do on my side of the board,
and I had things to do on your side of the board.
On that side, stay on your side.
No, I cannot. I had things to do. I had bonus points and stuff to go for.
And I had bonus points. That's why I didn't need the
But then I had to go over there. I don't care about your neighborhood.
In my neighborhood, stay out.
I'm coming.
But I thought it was a great game, a great family game. I really liked Kate May.
Because instead of like rolling a dice, you have cards. You have like 7 cards in your hand that have movement on them. So that's how you move around. You use one,
which is very unique and very not Monopoly.
Because you use one, you do that, you do that move, and it goes into your discard. So at one point, you're not gonna have maybe about like 1 or 2 moves, and it might not be the moves you want, because you gotta do the exact move on that card each time. So if you want to just go 2 and you have a 3 in there, you out of luck. So and then you have to do 1 turn where you got to, I think it's called refresh. You got to refresh to get all your cards back. So, this game, it makes you think. You think it's just, that looks like, child's play, and maybe that's, for little families and get. No, this thing makes you think. It makes you think.
I thought it was really well done. And I'm not going to insult this game and call it anything like Monopoly. I just thought it was so much better.
Okay.
So much better. Because even with the cards, Monopoly, you're at the mercy of the dice.
That's true.
Here, you make your choice.
Yes, you make choices.
What card do I need to use to get where I want to go? So
and sometimes the cards make you pay. That's the one thing I did like about this. Sometimes a card might be really good because I think they balance the board really well, but it knows, this one is like probably a very effective card at most times.
Yes, that's true.
And then the upgrades, you upgrade your buildings and everything, which I love doing.
I love that.
And then if you upgrade your business, you get like an upgrade card that gives you like a little bonus, little upgrades and bonuses and stuff. And I like that too. So you can really do some stuff on this, this game.
I love too that once you start putting the little houses and the shops on there, and then the little fences makes it a historic building.
Yeah, make it a landmark. It makes it a landmark. Yeah,
and it just gives it table presence. So you look at the board, you're like, oh, look at what we built. It's so nice. Really nice game.
Yeah. She's all about cute. She's all about cute.
I am too. That sounds great.
And that's why I told her, like with Carnegie, I said, don't come for Carnegie thinking it's cute. It's all beige. It's all beige. All beige.
That's the reason I haven't touched Carnegie.
But you said you're gonna do it though.
But I haven't done it yet.
You say you're gonna do it.
But I have a list of games I can get before.
I know.
Carnegie.
No, you gotta be on there.
There's a whole list.
You gotta be on there. You gotta do that. But with Kate May, even though the board looks like a little brown and green and stuff, it's still a really cool board.
No, the board is plain, but when you start putting
houses, it does elevate it. Yeah, it does. So it's fun. It's really fun. The only thing
what I thought the beauty of it was the fact that it does start playing, but you build it up. You build Kate May. You make it.
Yeah.
And I haven't done this with 4, but I've done it with 3. I really need to try it with 4 to see just how crazy it is, because it's not too tight at 2 people.
No, it's
But at
not.
3, it starts to get a little tighter.
3 gets a little tight. Yes. 3 gets a
I
little
would
tight.
like to see 4 just to see the 4 different colors of buildings on the board and see how pretty that would look.
And even the events pretty cool.
Oh, I like the
events.
You know,
even though you get that fire one, I don't like that fire one too much, where half the city's on fire, and kind of put some penalties on you. But the events are fun.
I like the events are fun.
Yeah,
and they're real events, because I know having talked to Tim from Thunderworks, a lot of a good majority of those are taken from, or at least inspired by, real events.
Yeah, that's
happened in Cape May. So there's a little bit of history built into it, but it's great.
Yeah.
If you haven't played my copy of this yet,
I haven't. I really want to.
I will bring this over. We'll bust it out.
Try it.
I'm a sucker for New Jersey things.
Yeah,
so
well, this is just so you know, on my list of games I want to play in the place, in the name of the game, and play it in the place that it's
Cape May.
Cape May.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's easier than Castles of Burgundy.
That is much easier than Castles of Burgundy.
And Santorini. Easier than Santorini too, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, easier than Santorini. Brian's saying elevate Monopoly like a Big Mac served with caviar.
Okay, that's supposed to be funny, because I like my Big Mac now. So you're messing with me now. They messing with me, Starla. They messing with my Big Mac. What's wrong with these folks? Where they coming from?
She's all about that cute.
That's Starla.
I got it. I got the song. She's all about the cute, no co-op.
That's that girl we don't like. We don't like her. What's her name? Trainer? What's her name?
I like Megan Trainor.
You like Megan?
I like Megan.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I like her song. I like that. Who said that? That was so nice.
Board Game Dad.
Board Game Dads.
So cute. I love it.
See, he gets it back for not liking Machikoro.
Yeah,
he kind of gets some points back. He gets a few points back. You know?
That's awesome. All right, I have my last game.
All right.
Okay.
So, I would a lot of times after work at my job. So I work with a couple, like a small company, like 12 people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we do web design, and after work and during lunch breaks, sometimes we would actually play a bunch of board games. And one in particular, we actually did a whole campaign of, like just a little bit lunch here, after work, just in the back, just an hour here, hour there, and then we're done for the day. Go on to work. We work too. Okay.
Yeah. Where's your HR? See, you don't even have no HR.
In case someone's watching. But he actually finally came. He came by last weekend, and we got back onto it, and we played Arkham Horror, the card game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Specifically, we did a scenario called Murder at the Excelsior Hotel, and this is a one-off game. So if you want to play Arkham Horror, the card game, want to try it out, first of all, it's because Arkham Horror, the card game, you're going to dive in and probably spend a bunch of money if you really go in for everything. But luckily, there's a pretty big fan base, and you can probably find people that are willing to play with you. And this one is an excellent one-off scenario. So the idea is that there's a murder happens at this hotel, and you're just trying to figure out who did it. But what's interesting about this is there's a whole deck of clues, and depending on what clues come out is going to be what actually caused the murder. And it's usually some like horrific monster or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It works so well though, because this game has a lot of story beats to it. It feels like there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. There's a big boss battle, and it's all just done in one shot. It's not a campaign where you have to go from this scenario level up to the next one. This is just all contained one shot sort of thing, and it works out so well. Arkham Horror, the card game, does a lot of things really well done, and it is co-op, so I'm sorry.
Well, see, she's not gonna play it anyway because it got all that nasty stuff on there.
It's got nasty stuff too.
She ain't gonna play it. It's got all that nasty stuff. So, she don't do Cthulhu and all that stuff. She don't do
But at the end of the day, like it's so unique. You definitely feel the stories. You definitely feel like what you're doing is what you're doing. What you're moving around, collecting clues, trying to figure out what's going on. And I don't want to. It's a game with spoilers, so I'm trying to avoid them as much as I can. But it is worth your time. And if you do want to try Arkham Horror, the card game, I do strongly recommend, first of all, if you have a game group, reach out to someone that probably has it or knows someone that has it, and do one of the one-off scenarios like this one in particular. Some of the earlier one-off scenarios are very tough, but this one I thought is actually a pretty interesting intro into the game. This way you could play it and not be overly committed to, which
that's cool.
Is it one does it differentiate enough through playthroughs since the clues are going to change?
I think it does. I mean, overall, a lot of it is pretty similar. But the actual big bad that comes out is different, you know.
So you'll have some end game variety at least.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of like pick up this stuff and uncover this stuff.
See, I haven't got Arkham Horror the card game because living card game, go down the rabbit hole and die. I haven't done that.
No.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. See, I already got Marvel Champions, and I've gone down that rabbit hole, and I can't get out of it. I've digged myself so deep. I can't go. I get, they say a card's coming. I'm going to get it.
We do that too.
We're the same. We're both down the Marvel Champions route. Excited about the next big box and
X-Men.
Yeah. I was actually so excited about that. I thought it was coming out this month.
Hey man, what's going on? What's going on?
But yeah.
Yes. Yes. There's the little cards coming out. The little cards. The little cards coming out. Yeah.
It's like, no, this game's not that. I don't have this much. Oh, it's only this $15 pack. Here's another 15. It adds up.
Well, what's good about some of them though? I mean, it's unfortunate, but Fantasy Flight has dropped a lot of their LCGs. Now it's just Marvel Champions and Arkham Horror, the card game, right? But before, I mean, there was the Star Wars one, there was the Game of Thrones one. I'm very partial to Android Netrunner. That's a 2-player competitive one where you're trying to fight each other, sort of thing. And what's as cynical as this sounds, what's fun about that is that because it's out of print now, a lot of people are just like scrapping copies because there are a lot of copies, and also you can play them online. Like there's a in Arkham and Android Netrunner in particular, there's a fan community that has their own fan-made version of Android Netrunner called Project Nisai, and you can play it all online.
Yeah, but that now Fantasy Flight said, this last Gen Con that they're bringing in Star Wars, the deck building game.
Right.
But it's funny because the LCG is not on it. So I don't know what kind of games they play.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do. So
I forgot, by the way, Lord of the Rings is an LCG that is still active.
Yeah.
But it is still active.
That Star Wars one, if I saw the cover, it looked like Luke and Vader. So it seemed like it was going to be a head-to-head one just if I went off the cover.
Yeah.
But, and that's the only thing to go off of.
They haven't said nothing.
Yeah,
they haven't said anything.
There's not even a Board Game Geek page. I tried looking it up, and it was like some fan-made Star Wars deck building game thing.
I loved Star Wars, the customizable card game. That's one of my like top 5 games growing up as a kid.
Yeah,
and I remember pulling like a rare Yoda once that God knows what happened to that Yoda because it ended up in the pile of stuff that probably went into a garage sale. I got a nightmare. My parents getting my mother putting out all these Teenage Ninja Turtle toys that I know are like impossible to get now. But I love that game. Speaking of love, one thing we do love also is just when we do get to hear from the community, I do want to feature if we can here some of the picks that we got this week. We jumped over. Some of these are from Twitter that we picked. I also asked over in the Board Game Revolution community to see what some of them have been playing. So you can see some of the things that people have been playing. I mean, in terms of what stands out, I do want to give a shout out. Mr. Gaming, I know they did a Lost Runes the other night, and they were trying out Dark Souls. So I'll be checking out that stream.
Yes,
way after that's happening right now. So I'll check that out.
So somebody played my father's work and Oathsworn. They must have been in the house for at least 3 days. They must have been 3 days.
That's true. I mean,
they must have been there 3 days.
We've got to experience my father's work. I will tell you on here, Trigger Run's on there. I got to play that at a board game weekend. I'm still not convinced I played it right. It was really cool. I need to play it again. It was different. There's a lot going on in that game. So a lot of and can we give a shout out to Brian? Congratulations, because he's got his new board game table.
Oh, he's got a new table.
That's cool.
so that I was so excited for Brian to get that. I remember it was in the mail. So
I'm getting my plane ticket ready.
Yeah, we're going out to Seattle, I guess. Is that where we're going?
Summer camp is cool. I like summer camp. That's a great gateway for drafting and racing. I love that game. I'm sure Walker Harding did a great job on that. And for a Target to have that too, I mean, come on, Target, what you trying to do? But
I'm surprised there wasn't an expansion this year for it too.
Yeah,
summer camp is such an expandable game because you just need another merit badge box. That's all it is. It's maybe it'll come down the line. I mean, he did have Planted, which was fantastic.
We love Planted. I love it.
Planted is the reason actually that Succulent left my house because my wife likes Succulent.
Why do you keep replacing stuff?
It's donations is what I do.
Stop replacing.
I'm a board of trustee for my library, so I'm trying to get games to the community. So that's when a game is I know not going to get played as much, I can justify, and I still get access to it.
I don't know. There's something about donating games to a library, though. I get like in Toy Story 3, the daycare, when they're just like the kids are destroying the games. I just feel like,
thankfully, the blessing of it is I'm involved with it.
Yeah.
I'm involved with it, and we've got a lot of good support. So,
and I do want to try Cat in the Box.
We got to really attack our libraries, Omaha public library system, because Starla tried to talk to them about it, but they don't really see the value of board gaming yet.
What?
So we're gonna have to really get on them for that, because they kind of like, what's the next, what is it needed for, so we got to really talk to them about that. So
and I think it's just so important. And when we talk about community, I do want to say thank you to those who did chime in. If you're in the chat and you want to share a game you've played, certainly go ahead and do that. I did want to take a brief moment also just to say one of the series I found really interesting on your channel, and I've enjoyed listening to it in particular, is Voices. Do you have anything anyone's coming up or anything interesting outside of Voices as well coming up that you do want to talk about or let people know about? Because I know obviously you're very active in the community, you're at the cons, so I want to make sure people have a chance to say hello to you and also check out your videos.
Well, we love Voices because, that's, I'm going to let Star talk about it because that is her baby. Well, really, OFPG is her baby, but, OFPG Voices is her thing because she saw a need for it in the community, and she took it forth. So, Starla?
Well, we came with the idea last year, and then we started reaching out to different content creators we thought would be a good fit for the channel. And then we launched Voices in January and talked to different publishers about sponsoring the program so that other underrepresented voices could be heard in the hobby. And so many publishers came on board and helped us get the channel started. And we appreciate that because we believe in, highlighting others who are trying their best to make this hobby more inclusive. And we see so much variety out there that so many people don't see. So we want to most of these people have their own channels. Some of them don't, but most of them do. But they're smaller channels. So we want to use the platform that we have to help them grow as well. And we want to compensate them. That's why we had publishers come on board and help sponsor the channel, because people take their time to get content together because they love what they're talking about and they want to share with others. So we compensate them for the time that they give to Voices. So we appreciate being able to do that. And it's just something that it's a passion project for us, and we love it, and we want to keep it growing.
Yes. I mean, look at this. Look at that boy. Look at him. Look out! Get ready for college tomorrow, boy. What you doing?
My family plays games. That is our son, Grant.
Yes.
And the latest Voices episode just came out today. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out, please do so. It was a great episode. As always, we're always so proud. We actually have a Spanish speaker on Voices who does his entire segment in Spanish, and then we have the translation in English. So we like doing unique things and just showing that everybody should be in this hobby.
Yes. And then the other thing,
there's no language barriers.
No language barriers. But the one thing we're also getting ready is our local con, new con, that we're getting ready for, and that's September 23rd to the 25th. 3 days of gaming, because we want to, we really want to bring up new con, because we want to show that everybody, I guess one of the slogans that we're trying to bring to NewCon is that everybody is welcome.
Well, the slogan is NewCon is for everyone.
Yeah, NewCon is for everyone.
Yeah.
And that means everyone can come.
And this is their 31st year as a convention here in the Omaha area. So it is Omaha area's premier gaming convention. And we're just trying to get it to grow because it still has a long ways to go.
And in growing, it means bringing everybody to the tables.
Yeah.
Just bring everybody in. And that's what we want to do. So if you're in the area of Omaha, Council Bluffs, Iowa, come on, September 23rd to the 25th. We're going to have a live show that Saturday, doing some stuff, giving away games. And we got something going on secret. We got something good going.
Yeah, we had a live show at the con last year. Really great turnout. People had a really good time. Usually when we go to a convention, we do some type of live show and people come out to hear stuff and we give away games and, get audience participation. So it's always a lot of fun.
Yes, we have fun. Yeah.
Well, we've had a blast tonight. I want to invite everybody, by the way, in the chat, or if you're watching this after the fact, on the table, we obviously, invite some fantastic people from across the space over, but Call Aboard, which really at this point we're doing twice a month. Call Aboard is going to be coming up our next episode.
Week.
Yeah, next week.
No.
And Call Aboard, anyone can join. So come on. Well, we always have a fun theme to it. Come on, hang out with us for a little bit.
I'll tell you the theme right now. I'll tell you the theme. It's next week, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The topic is crowdfunding in general. Just talk about crowdfunding, talk about your success stories, your horror stories. We'll talk about it all. Nothing, no holds bar, within reason, and then obviously, as we always welcome anyone to come on and talk about games or, and we like to just wing it. We like to just wing it.
It's a show for everyone. So if you don't have a channel, it's okay. If you have a channel, come on by. We welcome everybody, to kind of call in. And I stress, you don't have to be. I know we say this every time, but I feel like I have to say it. You don't have to go on video. You can come audio only. I know some people don't feel comfortable. That's fine. Come on audio only. But we will have another Express Take, which is our short review of 2 or 3 games coming up on that as well. But that will be Call Aboard. So be on the lookout next week. We're going to have that drop. I want to take this moment to thank both of you for being here,
Thank you.
being.
Thanks for inviting us. Thank you.
3 of you.
They're one in the back. We need to get ready to go to sleep. He got college tomorrow. What's going on?
Oh, awesome! And well, good luck to him in that too.
Yes.
So
yes.
let's send some best wishes there. And on that note, I just want to thank everyone for being here.
They get funky. They get funky on us, bro.
We got funky. Yeah.
They get funky.
Yep. Thank you for coming aboard the Tabletop Express, everybody.
Thank you.
See you next week on Call Aboard.